Hello everybody and welcome back to Juno New Origins, where last episode we arrived in orbit over Claude. Now, we shouldn't really expect very much out of these parachutes. I'm not sure they're even going to function, but we're just going to get ourselves locked over to retrograde here. We're about 100 kilometers up, and let's light up our electrically pumped engines here and just get our surface velocity nice and down. So we currently have about 1.4 kilometers per second in our Methalox engine here, and we're definitely going to want to burn all that off. So let's get that right on down. Our current thrust to weight is about 2.75, so that's good to know. I have a feeling we're going to have a slight thrust to weight issue, which is one of the reasons why I'm starting this high up. We're going to need to slow down quite a lot. And is this liquid or is this solid? I mean, the temperature here is going to be really cold this far away. I don't know if that's going to be liquid. That would be weird if it was. We'll find out, because I think that's where we're going to be coming in. And yeah, that's almost certainly where we're going to be coming in. And if it's liquid, that'll make things a little easier for us. So that's fine. So let's burn out all of this Methalox that we've got. That'll be absolutely wonderful. How are we doing on battery charge? Okay, looking good. We shouldn't have any battery issues. The RTG's definitely doing their very expensive job. So that's wonderful. So at this moment, I'm only interested in dropping our lateral velocity, specifically our lateral velocity. So let's get rid of that. We've got some vertical velocity building up, and that's understood. So 3, 2, 1, and we are out of Methalox. So we're now using Carolox. That is, of course, from this tank, and these two tanks are combined into one here. So that's fine. We will fill this tank, and we're going to drain out of this tank for the moment. There we go. So that's looking good. We don't have landing legs on this, I just realized. It's not that big of a deal. We can land on the engines, and if this is indeed liquid, then that's not really a problem, right? So that seems absolutely fine for right now. In terms of our electricity, this is now at about 12% electricity, but I believe that we should be net positive most of the time with these RTGs, so it should be fine. So we're just working on slowing down this lateral velocity. I do think now that we're in these engines, we should probably be back to retrograde. I want to see what our overall slowdown is here. This is very slow. Our thrust to weight is currently 0.74, and we knew that that would be a potential concern. It's sized so that as we burn off this fuel, we will reach 2.0 thrust to weight, in theory. But we'll find out. It feels like we're going down very, very fast right now. Our vertical speed is still increasing at this moment. So that's noted. That's actually a significant concern. We've got lots of DV left for now, but we're about to burn out our nose cone fuel. There we go. Our overall craft mass is dropping, but our thrust to weight is not increasing right now. So this is a very significant concern. Yeah, we are increasing our surface velocity here. We've not burnt out this fuel quickly enough. That's spicy. Very, very spicy. Well, I guess we're about to find out if this is liquid or not. There's that. I figured 100 kilometers would be enough. Okay, so there is an atmosphere at this point. I'm activating these chutes, and surprisingly, they actually are working. I can't really see very well here, but this is actually okay. So this is the RTG here. Where's the chute on this side? Here it is. So we need to repack this chute and deploy it like this. Actually, I think we're fine. The chutes are actually kind of doing the trick here. I am surprised that there's even enough atmosphere for the chutes to engage. We took some heat damage, and it's very difficult to see anything right now. We took some heat damage somewhere. Not a lot, though, as we were coming in. So this atmosphere must thicken up fast, then. It's very low-lying, that's for sure. And you can see here, we're still going at about 30 meters per second. We can slow that down, cushion it a little bit with our engines, which is the idea. We are still slowing down, but we're coming down in this substance, whatever this is. So this is working surprisingly well. Okay, we're about 500 meters up. I'm just checking to see what our speed gets down to. Look at the way that this is formed. That's nuts. Okay. So we're down to about 16 meters per second. This should be survivable. 17 meters per second. 18. These are closing a bit on us. Our chutes are. But there we are. We are splashed down. Deep Red Stains is the name of the achievement. It's very difficult to see anything here, and that's fine. We're sinking to the bottom of this rather ruddy substance. It's definitely not blood, right? We're pretty sure it's not blood. But there we are. We have landed on Claude at this point. Honestly, I didn't expect that to work. When I saw how quick we were coming down here and how low our thrust to weight was, I expected that to go splat. But those chutes did work. Remarkable. 0.1% of players have that achievement. So that's great. At this point, the question is, what now? Well, we're done with this, so we may as well destroy this craft. We're done on Claude. This is still the creepy Claude sounds. Okay, that's interesting. We've maxed out the tech tree. So what else do we have to do at this point? Well, I mean, there's all these Spaceport Esperanza missions. Honestly, though, I kind of feel like all we have left to do at this point is just leave the system and go interstellar. We've got time to do that, so we might as well do it. So let's just go ahead and launch this thing one more time. I'm going to leave this exactly the same, although I'm going to remove the chutes. I'm real glad we brought those chutes to Claude, by the way. That was very useful. The rest of this can stay as it is. So let's go ahead and launch this guy, and let's bring this right on up. Okay, we'll go up to 10x speed. Wonderful. Not even all that wiggly. It was a little wiggly, but not too bad. No sticker there. I like it. Perfect. So we're just going to get ourselves into orbit here, and then this is going to go interstellar. We know that we have the DV to do it. We have more than the DV to do it, and that's wonderful. So I don't know if there's an achievement for exiting the sphere of influence of Juno, but maybe. We were on a hyperbolic trajectory before when we went towards Claude, and we don't need to get any particular angle or anything. We'll just leave the system and see what happens. So from here, we're of course going to warp on around. Okay, somewhere around here, we should be burning, and indeed we are. Let's bring that periapsis right on up, and perfect. So orbital insertion is complete, and at this point, we can burn, I don't know, what would this direction feel like? So that's looking at going in. I mean, we could try to drop this down to Juno. It would just burn up. That'd be interesting, but I don't think that's the best of ideas. Let's burn it out this way instead. So this is an impact trajectory. This would be actually kind of funny. Impact Juno, we're going to burn up before we get there, right? Almost certainly. Almost certainly. But that would be pretty funny. No doubt about that. We'd have basically no velocity there. It's a not recommended burn, but we can always fix it later. Okay, let's do this. Although this should really use solar panels and a heat shield. I've changed my mind. I have changed my mind. We're going to go out, and then the next flight will go in. We definitely want to have a heat shield on the way in, and this time we're just going to do something like this. So let's take this up to, I don't know, maybe like 2 kilometers per second. Something like that. Technically, this is going to be a flyby of Atraitus. That's okay. Let's execute it. So this is not recommended, but that's okay. I'm really not that concerned about it. As long as we escape here, that's all that needs to happen. So this thing is going to go on a voyage, and it's not coming back. Although we probably could have it come back if we really wanted to, but we kind of don't. It's going to have lots and lots of fuel, and that's wonderful. So it can go a lot of different places if it chose to. And then the next flight, I want to have one that goes in as close as we can to Juno. There's no way we have enough heat shield to get all the way to 0, right? Surely not. Okay, so we're now hyperbolic around Drew, which is understood. We got some tech points out of that. Sure. Okay, so this is basically our target trajectory right here. This should be fine. We're now hyperbolic outside of the Drew system, or rather the Juno system, and this guy's not coming back. So let's go ahead and warp this right on up to the next event. There we go. And at this point, I'm going to quick save here just in case we completely break the game, but let's just warp this guy right on out of the system. Goodbye, Juno. We're out of here. We have so much fuel. So this is Claude back here. At this point, I think we're further out than Claude. Maybe not. Not quite. We've definitely broken the rendering of the game a little bit. There's no doubt about that. This is pretty exciting. And by pretty exciting, I mean maybe not all that exciting. Yeah, we ran out of juice. That's not surprising, but these RTGs will continue to function for a while. Let's put this guy into hibern... Apparently I can't scroll that down. Okay, let's put this guy into hibernation. There we go. And we're just coasting forever. So this is off to another star system. I don't think there are other star systems in this game at this time. Maybe later, or maybe in the next version of it. But for now, let's just save this flight. Save and exit. That guy is going to be going for a good long time. And now let's do a quick build here. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Well, I want to grab this. And I want to do like what we did before. So we're going to want to have a heat shield here. I want this to be, honestly, a fairly large heat shield, ideally. So this heat shield would be... And we're just going to try to get as close as we can to Juno. I don't expect that we're going to be able to get anywhere in particular. So we can't resize this to be any higher. We can turn up the heat shield on it. These RTGs are going to burn off. That's okay. So we're going to need an interstage here, for sure. So we'll put in one of these bad boys. And then, of course, make that a lot smaller. About like that. And then we plop this guy right on like this. Okay. So we're just going to try to dive into the sun as far as we can with this design. It's probably not going to be very far. We're going to absolutely explode in a blaze of glory, and there's no way that that doesn't happen. For now, let's just go ahead and launch this. It has issues, probably height. What do we got going on here? Yep, too tall. So we're going to need to tune down this guy a little bit. And now it works just fine. Let's double check the staging. So 19, that looks good. 12, yes. 6, yes. This interstage here should not be here. We're going to add a stage up top. That's going to go there for now. Okay. So these would pop off. That would all fire. And then this interstage. Yes, that looks correct. Okay. And this is really going to be more the sun visitor now. Okay. Again, this heat shield is not going to do the trick. We're not going to get to like a crush altitude. Does such a thing even exist for Juno? I don't know. Let's warp on through here. So this all looks good. And up we go. A couple of hangers on here. Very rude. There they detached. And there goes the inner shell. Fantastic. And the center core. Let's get this up to 500. So as before, I'm going to want to transfer over and basically cancel out Drew's orbital momentum. That's going to be the... And we'll see how far we get. I don't expect it to be tremendously far, but this is the final episode of this series, so we'll go out with a bang. Okay, so engine is shut down right now, and yep, that looks correct. We need to warp forward to that time to apoapsis to be about 1 minute remaining. Okay, something like this, and we'll fire up those engines to get ourselves into orbit. Perfect. Orbital insertion will be complete shortly. I'm going to turn this guy off. There we go. And at this point, all we need to do is we need to burn, honestly, sometime around here, but we're going to have to take a pass around. So let's go a little beyond it, and let's burn about here. Burning prograde. And this, of course, is going to be pulling us in like so. There we go. So I want to basically cancel out the entirety of our velocity there. And that should do the trick. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and execute that burn. It's not recommended. I understand why. I would not recommend this burn either. This is going to be disastrous. But we'll see how it goes. So this is going to be a fairly long burn. No doubt about that. I'm going to pin open these guys. There we go. And we're going to need to adjust our lateral velocity over Juno. It's going to be kind of wild. It's going to be weird. So we're at about 50% fuel remaining on these drop tanks, and we're only 30% of the way through this burn. So I want to be clear about that. We're now about 50% of the way through this burn. We're definitely burning a lot of fuel for this, but that's to be expected. We have to cancel out our entire momentum of Drew, right? The entire orbital velocity of Drew has to be canceled to achieve this. So that is kind of huge. This is more energetic than escaping the system at this point. Okay, we'll see what this final burn puts us at. The answer is this. That's acceptable for now. So let's warp on out of here. There we go. And now what I want to do is I want to go into this position. We're going to turn our power back on. There we go. Excellent. We're going to lose the RTGs on the way in. I should have changed the RTGs to solar panels, but I didn't want this build to take very long, so that'll be absolutely fine for now. You can see our current lateral velocity is 78.1 meters per second. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. This is the wrong direction. Gotcha. So we're going to bring this around to a heading of 90. This is not exactly the heading that I want. There we go. This is more like the heading that I want. And let's just do that number. There we go. Let's get that lateral velocity down. There we go. Not changing it much, but that's to be expected. 30 meters per second. 20 meters per second, and now it's going up at this point. Okay, so I'm going to take us over to velocity retrograde, and I want to burn at least the remainder of the drop tanks here. So let's get that done. We're going to burn at 10x here, and you can see the lateral velocity going down at retrograde, but also the vertical velocity, and that's what I want to see. So we're going to burn the drop tanks off, and then we're probably going to stop this burn. But this whole thing is going to be insane. I have no idea how deep we're even going to get. Okay, so drop tanks are off at this point, and we now need to flip this thing back around because we are heading directly into the sun at this juncture. So that's noted. You can see that our vertical speed is currently only 46.7 meters per, or 47.6 meters per second. We are going to build up a lot of speed. We're just falling straight into the sun right now. Yes, this costed us a lot of DV to get here. Like, you can look at this and say, we went from here to here, and that costed us like 4,000 delta V. Considerably less than what it took to, or considerably more, I should say, than what it took to escape the solar system. So, that's exciting. This just changed a lot. That's very interesting. Let's see if we can't bring this over to here and get rid of some of that lateral DV here. Okay, so something along the lines of that. 0.02. I like it. This keeps changing on us. I'm not sure what's happening with that. That's interesting. That's very interesting. This is happening in a strange, unexpected manner. Now, to be clear, I do expect to be building up vertical speed right now, but I expect to be building it up faster than this, and the lateral speed kept resetting on us to 2.88. Well, let's let this fall in until we get about to the orbital height of Sergia or so. So we're going to build up a lot of speed as we fall in over here. Yeah, look at that. We've built up 4,000 meters per second. At this point, I'm going to continue to fall until we are about here. Juno's getting a lot closer. We're now at about 6,000 meters per second. And that is absolutely understood. I'm going to fall in a little bit closer to about here. Then I'm going to burn off what speed we can. It's going to be weird, but we're going to see how this goes. So we're going to burn off all of this fuel. Oh, this is very effective. We're shedding a lot at this point. We're shedding way more orbital velocity than I expected. Okay. So now we need to be draining this fuel into here. There we go. Fuel tank is taking heat damage. Understood. Hang on. Yeah, we flew too close to the sun. At this point, we need to jettison this interstage, which is refusing to jettison. Okay. We got the achievement for flying too close to the sun. I don't know why this interstage... Oh, this interstage is actually jettisoned. Okay. There's just no actual force changing it here. So what we need to do is we need to just rotate it like this to try to push this, and then go back over to velocity retrograde like that. And then we can pin open this heat shield. So you can see the heat shield is building up a lot of temperature. We're going to fall in as much as we can, but we're probably not going to last too long here. You can see that the heat shield's temperature is building up as we get closer to Juno. Also, how many people have fallen into the sun? 2.3%. More people have flown close to the sun than have touched Claude. That actually surprises me a little bit. Significantly more people. Well, regardless, we're going to head in as far as we can, and that will, of course, end the series. So we're going to go in at 2,500 and just watch this heat shield temperature go up. The inner stage here is now gone. I don't know if it burned up. Maybe. So this is at 2,500. You can see we're really expanding our speed at this point. I wish we could have burned up that, or rather used that fuel a little bit more, but heat was too big of an issue, which is not surprising at all. So this heat shield is currently doing its job, but it can only do its job for so long. We're going to lose these RTGs, and that's not surprising. Ooh, okay, hang on. So there goes most of it. We've still got this guy, hilariously. But yeah, this was the altitude we managed to get to. I don't think this is like 450,000 kilometers. I don't think we would have gotten much further than this even if we had more heat shield. So that's absolutely wonderful. We got quite deep into the sun's corona there. I don't know if we actually made it into the corona. It was pretty close. There's probably ways to get it deeper, but for one thing, going faster is probably better for that one. Less time for it to heat up. That's definitely interesting. Well, there we go. I'm going to call that good on this playthrough of Juno New Origins. It's been a lot of episodes, but 175 seems like the time to put it to an end. We visited a lot of places, we made a lot of ships, and I learned a lot about how Juno New Origins works. So that is absolutely wonderful. For now, we're going to put an end to this series, and I don't know what I'm going to replace this with yet. We'll find out tomorrow, I suppose. I will be putting up a poll. There should be one for council members at this point, or at least a community post for council members on this one. So let me know if you've got any ideas, council members. For now, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.